Welcome back to another episode of the Basic Dude podcast. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here. Hope everyone is having a great day today. We got a what I think. This is an episode I've wanted to do for a while, so I'm pretty excited to do it. I think I have a pretty good episode planned for today, and probably one of the most memorable things as a parent or step parent was the day that I taught my son, well, really my stepson, but I had raised him since he was very, very young. But the day that I had taught my son how to shave, and that's probably like I would say that the most iconic or the most memorable event of my fatherhood years thus far. I mean, obviously I have a lot more to go, and kids get older and stuff like that, but that to me was it was huge. It was a huge big thing to me. And another thing that that we sometimes notice if we look at certain things in history or even movies is probably one of the best places that it's displayed is if we watch movies like Gladiator or there's others. I'm trying to think of the one with Will Smith and his son where they get lost on Earth or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We have forever throughout history there have been rites of passage. And rites of passage, what we usually think of, and I'm not going to speak so much for the young ladies or the women, because I am not one, and nor am I in tune to their traditions. I let my wife handle the girl stuff. I handle the boy stuff. Just seems to work better that way. But yeah, for centuries, societies had clear rituals to mark a boy's transition into manhood: warrior training, vision quests, apprenticeships. But of course, in our modern world, many of those have disappeared. And without them, many men are left wondering, when did I become a man? Did I ever become a man? I have kind of a bit of a monkey on my back of, where exactly did that happen for me? I asked the same question. So let's talk about what rites of passage look like now, how we can reclaim them, and why they matter more than ever. Generally speaking, in the olden days, it used to be the fathers or grandfathers, usually the male figure, or the male who was in charge of the family. Some people, didn't grow up with fathers. I understand that, but it's when I think of this thing, and these are just my examples, it's the the learning to shave, the first hunting trip, the first fishing trip, learning how to drive, maybe learning how to tie a tie, things of that nature. But anyway, let's begin with the basics. A rite of passage is a ritual, event, or experience that marks a transition from one stage of life to another. Now, let me start by saying that this episode isn't necessarily just directed towards fathers. I suppose it can be directed towards anybody, because perhaps you never had a male role model show you or yeah, I guess show you things like these types of events, right? So I guess I don't really know how to say it. Do these types of things with you or show you. But it's never too late. Just because you may have had a shitty male role model in your life that didn't do what he should have, it's not too late to kind of do it on your own. So traditionally, they had 3 stages: separation, leaving behind the familiar world; transition, entering a space of challenge or unknown; and then reintegration, returning with no identity, wisdom, or status. So let's take a minute and let's close our eyes. Well, unless you're driving, don't close your eyes. I guess we can leave our eyes open for this exercise. Let's think of ancient tribes. When I do this, I usually like to think of like the Mayans or the Incas, or even the Romans. But anyway, a 13-year-old boy might be sent into the forest alone, tasked with surviving the night and returning with a symbol of strength. And then that night would change everything. It's kind of like I guess in some cultures you have, in the Jewish culture, it'd be like a bar mitzvah. There's some family traditions. Generally, it's a hunt of some sort, or even getting your permit. I don't know. There's many different examples. But today, most of us transition into manhood by turning 18, buying a car, moving out, having sex, getting a job. But are those really enough? Like, is that enough of an event to you to say, well, yesterday I was a teenager, or I was a boy, and now today I am a man. So let me ask you, when did you feel like you became a man? What event happened in your life, or what, if anything, what kind of signaled to you, that you have now become a man, or you have matured? And then also, do you think that we're missing something today? I'd like to hear your feedback on that. If you think that the absence of this is true today, and tradition needs to be brought back in that sense, let me know. Go ahead and hit me up on TikTok or Instagram, or you can also email me as well. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. So, rites of passage are about more than age or achievement. They're about transformation, identity, and intentional growth. But we need to kind of question, why is this important? Without rites of passage, men drift. They feel stuck in extended adolescence or fake maturity. We see this in high rates of depression and addiction, disconnection from purpose, lack of male mentorship, fear of responsibility. Why? Because many young men never had a moment where they were tested, honored, and welcomed into manhood. I think this is really true today. We have a lot of man children in this world, and possibly this could be the reasoning behind it. There's never been kind of that cue of, hey, it's time to fucking put the Xbox controller down and grow the fuck up, right? No one, over mothering and under fathering, it takes a big play into that as well. We have a lot of parents, including myself quite often, that can be very passive, and not follow through with things, not teach accountability, just kind of want to make everything okay for their kids, because, we Perhaps it's because we came from a generation of, knowing what it was like to be picked on the school bus or beat up, or, we also notice these big changes with social media and phones and all that stuff, that there's really no escape from the harassment anymore. So we try to protect our kids the best that we can, because as fathers, especially girl dads out there. I mean, that's our that's a huge purpose of ours, is to protect our children. We don't want them to feel bad. We don't want them to be upset. But in all reality, I guess, unfortunately, it hurts them more than it helps them, which we can see here with the rate of young men these days who just fail to launch. They're still 30 years old, living at home with mom and dad, and working, not striding to kind of hit those marks, I guess, that they sort of need to in life. Rites give men a clear break from boyhood, a challenge to rise, a community to reflect back their strength, a symbolic threshold that says, you're different now. And let's be honest, if men don't create intentional rites, they will find unintentional ones. Bar fights, reckless sex, hazing, burnout. I guess something, for me, something that I wasn't really given those, I guess, my dad took me fishing when I was a kid, but I don't really see that as kind of the earmark, because I was real little. Like, usually when we take kids fishing, you can start your kids at 3 or 4 years old fishing if that's what you're into. I knew that I had always been responsible, and perhaps not necessarily being a man, but definitely kind of growing up as a latchkey child and spending a lot of time alone and being responsible for myself, made me more ready and responsible earlier than probably some others. I started taking care of a family of 4, or a family of 5 rather, when I was 19 years old. I stepped in. I had no children of my own. I really had no job. I had no nothing. I guess that was my, that was kind of my rite of passage, I suppose, that I gave to myself. I put myself up to a challenge to take care of a woman and her 4 children, and, just be the savior, I suppose. But it was kind of a mutual saving. I was really not headed anywhere. So my, pre-made family gave me purpose, and still to this day gives me a purpose 20 years later. So I think that was kind of my my cue to kind of grow the fuck up. You know what I mean? I voluntarily took on this responsibility, and I didn't have to. I could have walked out the door at any time. But I think that it gave me purpose and kind of made me proud to transition into manhood. I don't know. That's just kind of my little story. I think that's my little rite of passage in life. But anyway, if we don't give men meaningful thresholds, they'll either avoid them or stumble into them unprepared. So let's look at 5 modern rites of passage that can hold real weight if done with intention. Solo travel or wilderness experience. Being alone in a foreign place or in nature with only yourself builds self-trust. You face your fears, your thoughts, and your identity. Have you ever done, have any of you ever done a solo trip or anything like that? I'm doing one right now. I'm down here in South Florida working this new job. I don't know anybody. I've never lived in this place. Um, you know, luckily to me, it's not out of place because I used to work a lot out of town. So I kind of know what it's like to be responsible, but I'm doing the whole thing on my own here. Um, I do speak to my family on the phone. I do go home every couple weeks to visit, but yeah, I'm having to figure out all this stuff. The dishes, the grocery shopping, the dinner, the laundry, getting to bed, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and it's giving me a lot of time to, even though I'm super busy with work, which is why, my videos and stuff, have been lacking a little bit lately, which I'm working on. I'm working on it. But it's giving me time to reflect. I've started journaling every day. I read my Bible study. I get up and have my coffee. I don't bring coffee with me anymore, and I just kind of take the morning for myself and just be able to prepare myself for the day and kind of get going. So it's giving me a lot of time to kind of pick through my brain, which is a really scary fucking thing because there's a lot of bad shit in my head that I keep locked away with long hours at work and distraction. And now that I'm down here, I like, besides doing this or staring aimlessly at the TV, I'm in it. I'm in it. There's no avoiding it. I'm with myself 24 hours a day, and it's been a real change. So anyway, moving on. Number 2, facing a challenge or fear. This could be running a marathon, learning to fight, confronting someone, or giving up an addiction. It's voluntary hardship. Yeah, I'll tell you, those of you who, the addiction stuff, those of you who have beat drug or alcohol addiction or, food addiction, nicotine addiction, any type of addiction, I would say for me, that is probably one of the most amazing things that a human being could possibly do. If you want to show your worth as a man, beating addiction and recovering and all that stuff, that for sure is probably one of the a definite rite of passage for yourself, for sure. You go from your lowest low to overcoming something that has such a great hold on you mentally and physically that it to me is probably one of the most admirable things that I've ever witnessed someone do. Number 3, grief or loss. Hard but true. Losing a loved one, a dream, or even your old self. When integrated, grief can grow you in powerful ways. That's 100% true. Grief and loss change people. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. But when you're affected by that, something, losing someone so close to you, it definitely changes you as a person, whether you want it to or not. And like I said, it can go one of two ways. And hopefully, while you're at a very low, it makes you, that much stronger. Number 4, becoming a father. Fatherhood is a profound rite, but it only transforms you if you show up for it. Otherwise, it's just biology. That's right. Any man can be a father, but it takes a special person to be a dad. That's how I see it. Father to me is a very white collar, you know, formal thing. I think dads are different. Number 5, mentorship or initiating others. Helping another man cross his own threshold. This completes your own rite. It says, I've been here, or I've been there, now I give back. Rites don't have to be ancient or tribal. They just need to be intentional, difficult, and transformative. With that said, as far as mentorship goes, I'd like to take a moment to just shout out our show sponsor, our official sponsor, Kilo Foxtrot Fitness, Mr. James Jennings. He is definitely my mentor, 100%. That man is full of positive reinforcement and wisdom and encouragement. And when you're looking for a mentor, those are definitely good qualities. And that's how he is with everybody. So if you are in need of a mentor to kind of get yourself into shape, I strongly suggest that you either go visit him in person at Gem City Holistic Wellness Center in Bellbrook, Ohio, or you find him online. You can find him on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. That's Kilo Foxtrot Fitness. He will work with you remotely to get you whipped into shape and kind of help you, almost give you yourself your own rite of passage, because he definitely has you do hard things, especially for those of you who are out of weight or out of shape and overweight. I don't know. He's got a real weird way of making you put down the candy bar and get on the treadmill. I don't know. It worked with me. And if it worked with me, that was my last addiction I had left was food. So it was broken. But yes, absolutely. Go find him. He can work, like I said, work with you remotely or in person. Kilo Foxtrot Fitness. All right, moving on. We'll now get into how you can create your own rite of passage. Like I said earlier, some of us just didn't have that mentor or that male role model or father or grandfather or whoever to kind of show us the way. And maybe that's holding you back. Maybe that's a small part of you that you need changed to kind of move on, to level up, to get progressively better. So we're going to talk a little simple framework. It's going to be 5 things, very easy to do, but this will get you started on your path to kind of giving you that little boost you need. So number 1, set the intention. What are you going to let go of? What part of you must die for something new to be born? Number 2, choose the challenge. Pick something hard, something that makes you question yourself, but not break you. 3, include reflection. Journaling, meditation, or mentorship helps you make sense of the experience. 4, have witnesses. Even if it's just one mentor or friend, being seen changes everything. And then lastly, mark the return. Celebrate. Speak what you've learned. Claim your new identity. If there are a lot of things here that I could do with this framework myself. But yeah, I mean, make it work for you. So we'll review them real quick. Excuse me. Set the intention, choose the challenge, include reflection, have witnesses, and mark the return. I think I'm at a point right now where I'm kind of doing that already myself, and didn't even really intentionally choose to do it. But I know, there's that light at the end of the tunnel, I guess we'll say, the metaphorical light. Yeah, I'm doing the hard things right now. My wife is doing the hard things. This separation that we have is not easy for either of us. But the reward at the end is great. So I think maybe that's what you need to have in mind is the end reward. Anyway, you don't need a tribe to have a rite, but you do need courage, clarity, and a little ceremony. So here's some examples I can give you. We'll say, for example, we'll use fake names, I guess, for the example. Michael quit his corporate job to hike the Appalachian Trail, faced loneliness, fear, and found purpose. The Appalachian Trail is something that I would love to do at some point in my life. Just the challenge of that, just the absolute, again, it's that reward. It's that like mental reset. Jalen lost his father, entered therapy, and started mentoring boys in his neighborhood. Sometimes it takes the loss of somebody to get us down the path that we need to go to fix ourselves and maybe set a new course. Eli got sober and celebrated 2 years clean by skydiving with his sponsor. So there you go. You have the hard work and then the reward. Skydiving, if that's what you're into. But anyway, the point is each of these men crossed something hard. In doing so, they stepped into deeper manhood. But before we close out here, I do want to speak directly to the fathers for a minute, or to the future fathers listening. If you're raising a boy today, you have an opportunity that's both ancient and incredibly needed to initiate your son into manhood in a world that rarely does it well. Here are 6 powerful practical rites of passage you can teach or lead your son through, whether he's 10 or 18. Number 1, the first physical challenge. This is more appropriate for kids that are like 10 to 13 years old. Take your son on his first solo overnight campout or hike. Teach him skills. Let him struggle. Let him do a night alone, safely, obviously, and somewhere nearby. The point is, he learns he can do hard things, and that his father believes in him. Boys grow through challenge. Without it, they seek danger or stay soft. Number 2 is the blood talk, probably appropriate for ages 12 to 15. Not just about puberty or sex, which is definitely not a conversation any of us really like to have. This is the first real conversation about masculinity, values, emotional control. That's a big one. And the legacy of being a man. Frame it around honor, responsibility, and integrity, not dominance or shame. Talk about your own mistakes and triumphs. Be real and be vulnerable. And this is something I really still need to learn as a longtime father, is how to be vulnerable with my kids. If you can figure that out, then fuck you. You're far ahead of me when it comes to parenting and fatherhood. Number 3, service to others, probably in the teen years. Teach him that manhood isn't just strength; it's service. Right? That was last week's episode. Or I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago. Men are born to serve. So volunteer together, visit a shelter, help an elderly neighbor. Let him feel the dignity of giving, not just achieving. A boy thinks about himself. A man makes others feel safe. The first job right. Instead of just dropping him off at work, turn his first paycheck into a small ceremony. My wife just did this with my daughter. She's 16. She just started working, and when she got her first paycheck, she took her picture and, with her holding it up and all that stuff. Teach him about money, responsibility, and how men provide and steward resources. Also a huge thing. It's never been a secret in my household that this right here, me providing and me being the father and the husband and trying to take care of things and be the breadwinner, so to speak. You know what? And I know some people aren't going to fucking agree with it, but I don't give a shit. In my opinion and my conservative beliefs and me believing in the nuclear family and having 1950s fucking thinking, that's how it should be. And I don't want to fucking hear that doesn't happen anymore. You know what? If you have any type of fucking skill and know how to work fucking hard enough, that it can happen. The shadow day. Let your son follow you for a day at work or while doing something meaningful. Then switch it out. Follow him during one of his passions or pursuits. The point is you're modeling respect both ways and affirming his emerging identity. Boys want to be seen by their fathers. This says, I see you and I respect you. Yeah, it's, I have a hard time even knowing what my kids are. I think any kids are into these days. I know my grandsons, they're into like video games. I know my son, he's a mechanic while he's a mechanic on the side, I guess we'll say. He's worked at dealerships and stuff. So, and I'm a mechanic by trade. We all, I know that stuff, but like, as far as like my daughters, I couldn't fucking tell you what their TikTok, I don't know, fucking Snapchat. That's what I see they're into. I think that, going into your child's room and sitting down and saying, oh, hey, what are you doing? Oh, why don't you show me how that works? Or, what do you like to do? Why don't we go do something that you want to do? Or, something like that. I mean, it goes a long way, and it shows them that you respect them and that you're interested in what they do, for sure. Number 6, the initiation weekend. And this is going to be for young men ages 16 to 18. Gather a few men your son respects, uncles, mentors, coaches, and create a weekend experience. Include physical challenge, storytelling, a symbolic act, fire, mountain hike, etc., and a final circle of blessing where each man speaks affirmations over your son. Tell him you are no longer a boy, you are now a young man, and welcome. Perfect example. Why don't you, take him camping for the weekend? And a lot of this stuff has to do with like the outdoors. And the reason is because, number one, the outdoors is therapeutic. Okay. If you, subscribe or see my other content that I do, which is the Dude Outdoors. I'm a huge outdoorsman. I really enjoy the outdoors. I enjoy hiking and fishing and hunting and camping and all the stuff. Okay. Number one, nature is therapeutic. It is proven to be therapeutic. Number two, in nature, convenience is gone. Everything from having to wipe your ass with a leaf to starting a fire with 2 sticks, or, obviously I'm being a little facetious, but you know what I mean. We are left to a primal state and have to completely be challenged and change our thinking. And then also, nature will provide. You could show up, and again, it's not going to be fucking McDonald's, but you can show up and in nature and basically purify your own water and catch your own food. And again, it's not going to be, fast food or probably really taste all that great, but it is possible. So nature will provide, and that's one of those challenges. So, a perfect symbolic act would be, have your son, go do some fishing and basically provide dinner and cook it for the camp. That is that right there, just like we said a few minutes ago. Men provide, so that would be a great lesson for him. Anyway, I digress. We're kind of running a little long here, but anyway, these rites don't require perfection, just presence, and they don't need to be dramatic. They don't need to be intentional. Fathers, if your son doesn't receive initiation from you, he will go looking for it in gangs, influencers, or relationships that don't serve him. Totally true. Again, this may not be a popular, may not be a popular topic, or may not be what people want to hear. But the fact of the matter is inner city children, a lot of them grow up without a father figure. A lot of young men grow up without a father figure in the home, and then are embraced by gangs that are simply just using them for their own gang or their own gain. I didn't do it. It's not anything I'm making up. It's the God's honest truth, and I swear it on a holy stack of Bibles. This is what happens, and this is why having fathers in the home is so important. But yes, that is a very true statement that they will look elsewhere. And if you didn't receive it yourself, that's okay. Start now. Become the man who can lead the next man. Yeah. So there you have it, folks. We again, I was pretty passionate about this episode. This is something I wanted to discuss for quite a while. But let's wrap it up here. So what does this all mean? Modern manhood doesn't come with a ceremony anymore, but maybe it should. You can create your own. You deserve that, not just for yourself, but for the people who need the man you're becoming. I got a challenge for you this week. What I'd like you to do is design a mini rite of passage. Pick something hard, set an intention, do it alone or with a brother. Reflect and come back changed. So basically, I guess a great example of this would be, maybe go do a hard workout. And then, be in tune with yourself enough to realize, like, how do you feel after? You feel, less stressed? Do you feel, you've achieved this great thing? How has this changed you? How has it changed your attitude? How do you physically feel? How do you mentally feel? Is your stress gone? Do you feel happier? Do you get that dopamine hit? What are you feeling after this? And then, that right there can be basically your rite of passage into a healthier lifestyle or challenging yourself with more things. I will be honest. I had noticed this before, and I've kind of lost my way a little bit, and I need to get back on it. But, challenging. I became addicted to challenging myself. I'd go hit the treadmill for 15 minutes, and the next day it'd be 20 minutes. Or I'd try to close my rings on my Apple Watch, or want to, as a big guy. I'm still a big guy, and my wife gets very worried. She's always the one that she's always the naysayer. Of course, that's nothing but her crippling anxiety that she has, unfortunately. But, she just doesn't understand how I can go out and work in 126-degree weather. Well, because it's a fucking challenge. That's why. Or how I can go hike 6 miles because it's a challenge. That's my drug. Challenge is my drug. I don't challenge myself as much as I should, but when I do, I I push that precedent for myself, and I fucking make sure I meet it. And that's the important thing, and it's exhilarating. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel proud. So anyway, moving forward, thanks for tuning in. Remember, check out the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube, all that stuff. I'm gonna try and work a little harder on some stuff, guys. I know I'm dragging ass here and I'm really falling behind, but again, like I've just said, this is I'm living a total different world here. I know I'm a month in, but man, it has been a crazy month. So I'm going to do my due diligence and try to get my shit back together and get back on track and try and find some interesting things to do. I've been down here in Florida, and shit, I haven't even fucking really done anything except for work and laundry and cooking and grocery shopping and bullshit. So I think it's time to go find a trail to hike or a beach to sit on or some fish to catch or something like that. Need to get out and about and kind of start living a little more here. But anyway, thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your week. And as always, remember, be the man you are meant to be.